Hello, hello, hello. I'm in the living room and we have a disco light in here as well. And I'm making a video with my papa dog, but it is very dark in here. And that is the chair. My bar chair. The bar chair is making noises. It needs to be oiled. There's my artwork hanging on the wall. And the one where the spotlight shines on that is a painting that Paul's mother made a long, long time ago. And the figure things next to it is my own artwork. And they are called the Green Ghosts. That's actually painted packaging material. And then in the middle is the Blue God in person form in yellow. That is painted on a piece of styrofoam. So, and the reason why I'm sitting here in the living room right now is because I hope this shows. So, it's the papa dog, but doesn't show. Paul is sitting there. So, here you can see I have a tea light on, a tea candle, and a tea candle lantern. That where that is sits in it, the tea candle sits in the lantern, and on the top is actually a basin where one is supposed to put aromatic oils in it, and then it will evaporate, but I don't use it for that. I put a cup on it. This one is it's a ceramic cup. It's actually a metal cup, but it is coated with a ceramic coating. I don't know how good this is actually. Maybe I should have used my actual ceramic cups. I don't know, but I'm using this for now. I'm making lip balm, which I am going to pour into this supposedly deodorant container. I bought 10 of those. You can buy those in bulk. They are sterile containers. They're just, empty and sterile, and new containers to make your own cosmetic with. And they have different jars, that they have different containers where you have the dial on the bottom where the stuff is pushed up. They also have those, of course, for that are smaller, but for me it really works the best to have it in a larger container. That way I don't have to constantly make new ones. And I like to have the bigger one. I also put this under my eyes, and so, or if I have some, or on my cheeks also, if I'm breaking out. So sometimes I like to put this on my face and feel the calming effect, and also for the scent. So that's why I use these deodorant containers. And what I put into it, it's not gonna show now. So what I put into it is about a quarter of the entire amount that goes in there. A quarter is beeswax pebbles, very small beeswax pebbles that you can buy at Star West Botanicals. They are absolutely great for those kind of bulk ingredients that you can buy to make your own cosmetic with. I also added a tablespoon of, or more, actually 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, which is solid in room temperature, so it looks like snow. And it's very wonderful, the coconut oil. So I only use coconut oil for making cosmetic, because that's really perfect for making cosmetic. So, and I also added olive oil to it. And then I poured 1 ounce of real, essential, natural, all natural rose absolute oil into it. I got the 10% solution because I'm from now on, in the past I used to buy the 100% absolute oils, but the rose is very viscous and it's very dark, it stains, and it's very viscous. It's like a very thick syrup, and it's very sticky, so it's not that easy to work with it. So I decided from now on I'm just gonna buy the 1 ounce bottles of the 10% solution, because that's really perfect. I would also buy a 30% solution, but they only have, in the stretched form, they only have the 10%, 100% natural rose absolute, and the rest they have a carrier oil, a vegetable based oil, or also all natural and organic. They usually use organic at Eden Botanicals. I bought this. So, and they're very great for making skin creams, for making lip balms, and all kinds of things, for making actually deodorant. I use, for deodorant, I actually don't use these containers. For deodorant, I use a skin cream that I make myself, where I put a lot of diatomaceous earth and kaolin clays, mainly white kaolin clay, into it. Also beeswax, also carrier oil, and also 100% natural essential oil drops, or maybe a tablespoon. So it depends on how much I make. So I made a real large container. Just the other day I mixed the other rests that I had that were kind of too thick on their own. I mixed them together. I added oil, and I had to use 3 of those lanterns, and to create a base I had two candles lit in them, and I had a large ceramic container on the top, and I melted those together, and now I have a great consistency skin cream, which is universal. I use it for absolutely everything, including deodorant. I always put a lot of clay into it, clay powders, which is really the deodorant essence. It's the ideal deodorant material. I also sometimes use sodium bentonite hydrated, which I have in my bathroom to brush my teeth with. And also, if I have any kind of sore or something, mosquito bite or something, all you need to put on is really hydrated sodium bentonite clay, and it is very reasonably priced. You don't even have to use skin cream, just use the hydrated clay. Works fantastic, and also works particularly well for some people who have acne. Teenagers would greatly benefit from hydrated bentonite clay masks. You have to leave it on for like half an hour, maybe an hour if you have time, and then you rinse it off, and then you put a nice skin cream on that is also all natural, 100% natural. So I use only 100% natural ingredients in making my skin products that I just make for myself. So that's what I have in there, and it may be just slightly bit more than what I need for this. This here, I think it's a bit over an ounce. Maybe it is 2 ounces or something. It's hard to guess. But yeah, I'm gonna fill this up all the way to the top. Then I'm gonna let it sit overnight. And tomorrow I'm I'm just gonna wipe the outside surface of this container with a baby wipe and with maybe with some tissue to make sure it's really clean. Also the lid, because I don't know if people have handled this. Maybe they handled it with gloves. I don't know. These things are supposed to be completely sterile. There is not supposed to be anything on it, but you know, I don't know where this stuff is made and who packaged it, so it's better to wipe it and make sure that it is really clean. Yeah, and then I will store this in my bathroom cabinet or in my bedroom cabinet, and I have a nice lip balm to put on, so because sometimes I might have a bit of a fragrance oil on my hands and I don't want to dip into my cream with my fingers with which might have some drops of the fragrance oils on it. So that way I have this, I just draw this up and then I can put that onto my skin without getting that in contact with the fragrance oil. So it's a lot easier actually if you have a lifestyle that is completely free of fragrance oils, because fragrance oils are synthetic molecules. And I did this also. I had a completely fragrance free lifestyle for, I would say, like 7 years or something, or 8 years even. And I was very happy. You know, I didn't need to have perfume oils or perfumes. I gave all of my designer perfumes away for that very reason, but mainly because of the alcohol, which I didn't want on my skin, but also because I didn't want to have any more synthetic molecules. But then recently what happened is, I have to tell a story that is a little bit strange. Also has to do with my OCD and all of this, how my brain works. So what happened is I bought, and I'm not gonna slander anyone. There's a company that where I am almost 100% sure that they are selling essential oils, but they're putting synthetic fragrance oils in it. So it's a pity, you know, that this happens, and it didn't only happen with one company. So happened with a lot of companies. So that's why I'm down to just a handful of, maybe less than a handful of really honest vendors that are only selling 100% natural, essential essences and oils and absolutes and carrier oils and all natural, 100% natural plant oils and plant perfume oils, but completely natural, like through distillation or through solvent extractions, but 100% natural. And only those can be used for making body lotions, body butters, or face lotions, or cosmetic makeup, and so on. I make my own makeup as well. Some of it, it's pretty great, you know. I'm still experimenting with this, but yeah, we learn as we go, you know. It's a learning process. So to make a lip balm, it takes about a quarter of the, the solid wax material. You can also use synthetic waxes, of course, but I don't recommend this, not for face creams. So beeswax, or there are also some plant waxes that require a little bit more, because I think they don't solidify the stuff as much as the beeswax does. So, and I don't see anything wrong with beeswax. I mean, it doesn't fall under vegan, but it is made from bees, and I don't see how they're very gentle, you know. These beekeepers are very gentle with the bees. So they just take some of those honeycombs out, and then they use the honey, and they utilize the wax to make these beeswax blocks with, or little pebbles, you know, as you can buy these little pebbles. They're perfect for making creams. That way you don't have, you know, when you have a big block, it's very hard to cut that. So it depends what people do with it. If they make candles with it, sometimes they buy these blocks. When they make a really large candle, then maybe the block will be more practical. If they have these really large containers that they have on stoves, and that where they melt stuff with. But I only use this here. This works very well. Sometimes I use the stove, but on the stove there's always the risk that first of all, it takes a long time. I don't want to have it on a high heat, because then it can burn, and it could actually damage the essential oils in it. So if you have it too high, so having it on a tea candle lantern like this, you can't go wrong with that, and it will eventually burn out, and by the time it is burned out, then the substance inside of the cup will have all melted and mixed in. The heat actually steers it naturally around. There's a movement in it but it doesn't get too hot, so it's just the perfect heat. Yeah, and then later, like, I don't know, the tea candles, they last a long time. I'm amazed. They last like 2 hours or something. And yeah, and then by the time the candle is turning itself off, it has used up all of its fuel, then the solution will be done, and I can pour this into that container. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I recommend to use only 100% natural ingredients for skin creams, stuff like that. And maybe I'll make another video sometime in the future, maybe in the summertime. Might make another video with my imitation GoPro camera that I can put around my forehead and use like this, and have that on at all time, and show exactly all the different steps that I take. I don't know, I might make that video. So, but I just wanted to make an intermediate video right now to show how this is done. I thought, since I'm already making it, why not make a video out of it for Sandy and Mirka. So you can make yourself, this is really fun to get into this and to make this stuff. Then you really know what ingredients are in it, how it is made. You know, it's just pure ingredients. And Star West botanicals are really fantastic. Also Mountain Rose herbs are great, and Eden botanicals. Those are the 3 best in the world, that to my knowledge. And yeah, there may be some others, but I know for 100% certain that these 3 companies, they don't cheat anyone, they don't put artificial stuff in it. And I don't know if Star West Botanicals also has some flavor oils, which are safe for lip balms, but are made out of synthetic molecules. They're called flavor oils. I don't know if they have some of this. They might have some of that, but they will declare it as flavor oils, and they will declare it as synthetic fragrances. So they will not declare something natural when it really isn't And any company who sells something as natural and even physician or chemist approved, some of them have this on their company's website all over the place. And so it reminds me a little bit of that guy who always said, I don't have an agenda. He said it so many times that at some point I knew he had an agenda. So it's the same with this one website. They have like in 3-4 different places. They have this chemist approved, with this or check mark, approved. Do they have an agenda? They probably do. So, and I don't know. I fell for it. I really did. So, but what happened then is I got a couple of different supposedly natural, essential flower oils, including iris. And when I got it, it smelled very good. When I got that, I paid way too much for it, for it just to be a synthetic molecule. So, but it smelled really good, definitely high quality fragrance, not natural oil. But I liked the way it smelled. It was heavenly. But it wasn't, I'm almost 100% sure that this is not a natural essential plant oil. I'm almost 100% positive that it is a fragrance oil that they were selling me as a natural. So that is fraud, and it should be pursued. It should, it should be, this should be investigated by some police, so I don't know. So it's probably not being investigated, but it's the consumer that ultimately has to make these decisions and say, oh, this company, no more, so I'm going to go with the companies who I know for sure that they don't cheat people, who I know for sure they're not going to sell you a fake imitation lotus oil, blue lotus, Nymphea cerulean. This is probably the most expensive essential oil there is in the world. They sold that as a little bottle like this for $50, and I better not say this loud, and I fell for that because that really drives my husband up the wall. So I fell for it, and it was pretty clear to me that this was also, that it smelled like Nivea cream. So, but maybe that is how the Blue Lotus smells, but I don't know. I had the feeling this was not real, but I kidded myself into believing it just because I paid so much money. So then later on, I checked on their website and they didn't have it anymore on the website. And I asked them, and I'm not going to say which company it was. I asked them, I noticed you don't have that anymore on the shelf, so are you going to get that again? And they answered me real rudely and said, because we don't have it anymore? With a question mark in the end? I don't have it anymore, like they're like completely snarly or something. Uh, agenda, maybe. And then I was like, oh, alarm lamp went off inside of me, and I was like, okay, too bad. I just made a big order with them. I wish they had answered me this sooner, but again, that was my own fault. I should have waited with the order. But anyway, the other stuff was natural, but I think the Blue Lotus, I think they got tricked, they got cheated, but then they didn't want to correct it for the customers. That also is wrong, when you have a company like this and you're selling people some real expensive stuff and they pay like a lot of money, even if you as the company owner have been cheated by some vendor and in India, you know, who says to you, this is real stuff, you're so real, you're so real, and you buy all of this, and he probably has a good price too, right? And you make a 5 times profit with your US customers. Yeah, you are responsible to give these people the money back, but of course they didn't want to do that. So they'll just deny it. But to me, I see through those things, and we should see through these things. You know, everyone needs to learn to see through those kind of things, because you, the consumer, you have leverage. If we learn who is legitimate and who is not, if we look a little bit closer, you know, if we don't just take everyone's word for everything, you know, if we question more, that this applies to everything in life, you know, to everything, to relationships too. So we need to be more, we need to ask more questions, and we need to be more honest also on our own part. So then the world will become better. My face is itching now because I have dog hair mixed in with sweat and skin cream. That always tickles the heck out of my skin. So yeah, but through this process of this other company selling me the fake iris oil, which smelled good, and I felt like, it felt like, because that day I had jealousy issues, and I smelled that fake iris oil, I felt like, oh my gosh, that iris oil, that helps me with my jealousy. So this is an anti-jealousy medication. It's pretty cool. So I think that is basically how I got basically swept back into, I got lured back into the fragrance oils, because I realized that some fragrance oils are just absolutely supreme in terms of scent. But it took me a couple of maybe 2 more years until I found one of those. I think I saw oil perfumery from Canada, but my bank charged me a a foreign exchange fee or something, international processing fee. I didn't know that my bank would do this. That's really messed up. I mean, it wasn't very much. It was like 4.50 or something, $4.50. But still, I mean, the customer should be warned about those kind of things. I'm not going to buy from them again. I also did not, I wasn't very happy. I'm not that thrilled about their interpretation. So I'm sure it's a good company and everything, but I'm not that, it wasn't very good. So the companies, the synthetic fragrance companies that are declaring, of course, that are synthetic, you know, they're not lying to the public. So the ones that make very good perfumes, which means they have, some of them are their own, but most of them are designer imitations. The best one, the absolute winner, is quality fragrance oils. Quality fragrance oils, they are, I think they're in the United States, and they are definitely the winner. So I tried several, tried like 5 or 6 different, just to see, you know, I ordered perfumes from those, from different ones. I ended up, I think in the end, in the very end, probably ended up spending $800. So, but that's it, I'm not gonna buy anymore, at least not for a very long time. So, but I wanted to see, I wanted to compare the different quality levels, and so I really have, so Sensational Shop made some very good ones. Worldwide Perfume Oils makes really excellent ones. But Worldwide Perfume Oils did not answer my question in regards to the ingredients. So I only got 4 from them. That I didn't buy more because they didn't answer my question. And Sensational Shop, they're very rude, really bad customer service. So because of that, I'm not gonna buy from them anymore. The the imitations are pretty good, but they're not totally accurate. But they make good, very good imitations. Some of their versions might even be better in my personal view, because they're even sweeter, because I like that. Some other imitations from some other, I don't recall exactly which one it was, no, but well, I know that their alien is pretty good, but it is not very accurate. And I think the Worldwide Perfume Oils has a better, more accurate version. My instinct is telling me this. So, but they didn't. But they have. If they don't answer my question, they might have bad ingredients in it. So, Sensational Shop, I don't know if they answer my question rudely, but they said yes on on for all questions, but that doesn't really mean, can I take their word for it? So that doesn't really mean that their their ingredients are all that healthy and good, not tested on animals and stuff like this. So quality fragrance oils, they score the highest on in every regard. They have exceptionally friendly people working there as customer representative, customer service, and they also want to know people's opinions on the different scents, because they want to improve. They always want to make it better, and their interpretations seem very, very, very good, very accurate. So I would say at least as accurate as Worldwide Perfume Oils has. And fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And there are no added colors in it, and the perfume oils are very long lasting, and it's very mild on the skin. There's absolutely no redness. It feels cool and good on the skin, and it lasts very, very long, and it smells absolutely heavenly. And so that's the one that I go with from now on, and I'm glad they exist. And they have, for the, like I said in the other video, but it got cut off in the end, they have quality fragrance oils, has different amounts for different prices. The more you get a discount, of course. So if you like a perfume oil very, very much, and you use that a lot, and you have your own deodorant containers, like the ones that I got with the roll on top deodorant containers that I bought only to create my own perfume oils with. I got some individual notes for that here in this cabinet. So make my own perfume oils. I made some really great ones. I put that into those deodorant roll-ons. I have them in 1 ounce and 1.7 ounce amount. That's really perfect. Also makes it perfect. The 1 ounce is perfect for putting it into a pocket and bringing that with you wherever you go. But that will be a lot more reasonable if you can get from quality fragrance oils. You get the 4 ounce bottle, and you just pour that into your roll-on deodorant roll-on bottle, and you can refill this at any time once that's empty. So that is the most reasonable, the most practical, the best way. It doesn't break. They're fantastic, those bottles, very durable, like very oil resistant, like acid resistant, very, very fantastic, safe plastic that is food grade. And the roll on top, it's a large roller ball, that works the best of all. I tried all kinds of different ones. I tried the small ones that are okay. It doesn't feel so good. I tried the medium ones, the 1 ounce bottle with the roller. Those roller balls often don't work at all. So yeah, it's all trial and error. But I figured it out now. So it's the deodorant roll-on ones with the big roller that worked the absolute best. That is, there's so much oil coming out of it, not too much. If it falls over, it's not gonna flow on the table, so it stops itself, but it has a real great oil release. And they really made for deodorants, but I don't use it for that because I make my own deodorant cream with a lot of clay in it, and that cream can also be used as a body butter or body lotion. Really perfect, wonderful. So, and I don't work with water at all, because if you work with water, then it can mold can grow, and that's just a big mess. So I don't recommend that. I recommend to people only to work with oils, and you can stretch the consistency also with oils. Of course, you can make it all the way to liquid. You can make it semi-liquid. You can make it more solid. You can make it into many different types of consistencies and creams, face cream, makeup, concealer, even body lotion, into any kind of consistency. So I make my deodorant with that works for 24 hours and more. It's absolutely fantastic. And it's all 100% natural. I used to, in the past, was always looking for all natural material, natural products. Then I ended up only buying from Dr. Hauschka and Veleda because they're all natural. But they contain water, but they have very specific method that is based on anthroposophy, where they preserve this with the shaking method, with the rhythmic shaking method, so that they don't have to put preservatives into it. But why go through the trouble of doing all of this if we can just work with oil base alone without water? So that's my personal view on it, and I think it's also healthier. So it has an indefinite shelf life. It's really fantastic. So this is how I do it. So for candles, when I buy candles, I buy cheap candles that are petroleum based, because candles, it burns. I mean, we already get petroleum in the air from freeways, and it doesn't make such a big difference if I have one candle on for one day and it is petroleum based. It's not such a big problem. I'm also using the synthetic fragrance oils, which are also petroleum based. So it's not a health hazard. Some people make a big deal out of it. It's not. It's safe. But for cosmetic, for skin cream, body lotion and stuff like this, I recommend to only use 100% natural essential oils as the scent, and just 100% natural minerals, clays, zinc. I put a little bit zinc oxide in this one. Zinc oxide makes a very great sun cream, sun blocker. It's 100% natural. That can be even used in swimming pools or hot springs, where you would not want to put an unnatural synthetic sunblocker into it, because if that gets into the environment, that's not good. So I'm making sure from now on not to ever use unnatural sunblocker. And we have to be careful. There are some supposedly natural companies, I'm not going to mention any names now, but companies that sell in health food stores And I bought one on our last trip because I was running low on my own sunblocker. So I went into a health food store. I got this, was sold to me or advertised as on the label, all natural sunblock lotion. Then I get in, I get back into the van. I read in the ingredients, and there I see there is the unnatural sunblock chemical in it, and that was very disappointing. Maybe I should have returned it, but yeah, I'm never gonna buy these again. I'm definitely not gonna do it from now on. I'm just gonna make my own sunblock lotions with zinc oxide, which is a natural mineral, and with white kaolin clay and maybe some bentonite clay powder, a little bit in it as well, and some beeswax and some olive oil and coconut oil and some all natural essential oil, maybe a teaspoon of it. And but for the face and as a sunblock, we have to make sure not to use citrus or bergamot, because that actually, when the sun shines onto that, that can actually create a pigmentation change in the skin. So that's why it would be better, we have to get informed about all of this. Do your research out there, all of you. It's important to research these things, not just take one person's information, but use the information that you hear from one person and verify and read it for yourself. Read which essential oils can actually cause a pigmentation change when the sun shines on it. So that would be counterproductive. I don't want my face skin to get darker. I like my skin to be white, and it's just me personally. I like my white, sensitive marzipan skin. So it's not good to get the sun radiation on the skin, because that can stress out the skin cells. So since I was since I was 20, I have been always loading myself up with sunblock in my face. And I remember in high school, there was this one guy who came up to me and said, "Why do you have such a white face?" I was in Germany, and the other girls, they were all like constantly suntanning, 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 suntanning. That was in the 80s. And I was like, I like white skin, and my girlfriend too, the same way, because we were already into the Vogue magazine and the nice photography, by Helmut Newton. And I'm not a fan of him anymore, because I talked about this in another video, because I read something that I didn't like, something unethical. So I can turn on a dime, as they say. I can do an instant U-turn when in regards to being a fan of someone, if I see something unethical. So I was very disappointed about Helmut Newton. But yeah, Katja and I, we were fans of Newton and Vogue, and the white. The Vogue is always a little bit ahead. The Vogue circle, the fashion, the haute couture circles are always a little bit ahead in terms of avant-garde, in terms of playing around with fashion and stuff like this. And I just always, comparing the natural skin color of someone, whoever that is. It could also be someone with a naturally darker skin color. But I always liked the people in the Vogue magazine that liked their natural skin tone. And some of them were from Nigeria, and they were like completely black, like totally black. I mean, like completely pitch black skin. And they said, I like my black skin. And I was like, right on. I'm totally for that. You know, I thought that's so cool. These amazing looking photo models from Nigeria with very black skin. And my message to them is, you know, don't take offense. Don't ever take offense. You know, I know there's a lot of vulnerability going on. There's a lot of pain, you know, throughout history and all of this. A lot of vulnerability, and I understand. But stand your ground. You know, don't take everything as an affront. Don't take everything as an insult. Stand for who you are. Don't bleach your skin. Don't change your skin color. Don't do what Michael Jackson did. Love yourself and stand your ground with this. You're doing very well. And those are the people I absolutely admire, I love. I think they are on the right path. And the same goes with any other ethnic person, Asian or wherever they're from, you know, evolutionarily, or if they are white, or if they're even whiter than my skin, somewhere from Norway. Stand up for what you are naturally, you know. Stand up for your natural skin tone. Don't cover that up. Don't change it. Don't manipulate yourself in any way. The best is, don't even, you know, if you have something strange, a strange facial feature or a big nose, love it for what it is. Love everything about yourselves exactly the way it is. If it is blue or green or white or dark or red or yellow or pink, love it. Love your skin tone for what it is. Be good to your body, be good to your skin, love yourself, you know, and that is, then you're on the right path. And don't go by what, you know, is most liked by Hollywood. Don't go by any of these things. It's one can easily fall into this, you know, particularly when we feel insecurity. We will easily get intimidated by some kind of fads. My message to the world out there: love yourself 100%, 1000%, the way you are, you know, and embrace yourself, embrace the way you look, and love yourself and kiss yourself on the skin. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, okay? And dress the way you like it, and not the way Anna Wintour tells you to, or Helmut Newton, or everyone has their own agenda and agenda, you know. So you know, go with what you like, what you love, and that's all that matters. And I love every one of you, and every one of you out there. We are all equally precious. Remember this, okay? Just remember this. Write it on a piece of paper and hang it on the wall. That's all you need to remember, all of you out there. We're all equally precious. Every living being on this planet, we're all equally precious. Every animal, every human, every plant, every life form is equally precious. Okay? You guys take care. Peace out.